So you're driving along a dark and windy road. When you start to face some car troubles, what exactly do you do? Well, the common task to do is to go out, check the status, or simply call in a mechanic. But what's that out in the distance? Is that a child? Two of them? Why are they out there? Why are they approaching your car? Hold on. Something doesn't seem right. Something seems off. Yes, today we are discussing black-eyed children and the strange myths and urban legends surrounding them. But before we look into the stories around them, let's break down what these guys are all about. Black-eyed children, or in some cases black-eyed kids, are creatures within urban legend that are said to resemble children between the ages of 6 and 16. Most depictions characterize them with pale skin and black eyes while being seen hitchhiking and or panhandling. They are also encountered on doorsteps and residential homes, asking to either use the phone, bathroom, or for some food. Stories of black-eyed children have been appearing in popular culture since the late 1990s, so they are pretty recent when it comes to the mainstream. Speaking to slightly older individuals, especially those who grew up during the 80s and 70s, it is apparent that this little legend was not the most common, if talked about at all. For the most part, it seemed as though there were similar stories related to something along these lines, but the more detailed cases and characteristics did not develop until the 90s. Though keep in mind, my search radius was strictly stuck to the northeast of America, primarily in the tri-state area of PA, New Jersey, and Delaware, so things may be a bit skewed in the results. Anyone who is a bit newer to this channel, let me detail how things are going to go here, since it is a little different than others that you will approach. I add in my own opinions towards the end after providing some facts and information that either support or debunk these sorts of things. Although I love the paranormal and supernatural, things such as this are where my strong sense of skepticism comes into play. At the core, the black-eyed children are simply a creepypasta, which is basically an updated version of the term urban legend, but mainly refers to stories circulating on the internet, which is where the story of the black-eyed children seems to actually originate, hence why they are not very common until the 90s. In fact, they can actually be pinpointed to an exact post that may have started this trend. A posting on July 30th, 1997 by Brian Bethel on the Usenet news group Alt Magic, Magic with a K. You can view the original post in the updated Google Groups posted below. Bethel, a newspaper spirituality columnist down in Abilene, Texas, posted the original story along with an updated post 1 month later in a separate site. This time with an addition, a segment in which he detailed talking to another friend who had experienced similar accounts to his story. Their sightings, however, were up in Oregon, and thus the black-eyed children were born. The link to the updated story will also be in the description below. Since reports dating further back than 1998, this making it impossible for any story or reports to be dated further back than 1999. I mean, to be real, you're probably more likely to win the lottery than finding a story dating that far back. Keep in mind, though, that there are many stories out there, like most creepypastas, that are most dattily hoaxed or fabricated. It is really easy for people to keep the attention of someone reading or watching a video about, well, I guess this. Nonetheless, just keep an open mind while reading other stories like this, since chances are they were created by some teen attempting to be a writer. Not stereotyping, this is very painfully obvious when looking into the grammar and spelling of a lot of the stories, or the absolute absurdity with some of the reports that are out there. But I'm going a bit off topic, and this is not a rant on creepypastas. So the story goes once more that these children usually come to you while you are home or while you're in your car pulled over. Though there is not a whole lot known about what happens once you allow these children to enter your space, but most reports vary. Most involve a tragedy, bad luck, death, or simply the child vanishing without a trace. but there is little to no credible evidence despite there being thousands of reports out there. Some even have people calling the police, but followed up, there are no police reports or files that can be found afterwards to support these claims. So once more, it's extremely hard to support these types of stories. But I understand that this could simply just be a way for people to have a good time and just read a creepy story online while taking part in a trend. So I will not bash them too much, but those are the known origins, and sadly, we do not know the whole lot about what was really going on in Bethel's mind while he was writing the story, and we may never know. But for nearly 2 decades, stories about black-eyed children have been circling the internet, and I honestly don't think they will be leaving anytime soon. For now though, that is all I have to provide for you guys. Not a whole lot to report on when it's mainly internet stories and fiction. But as a bonus, in the future, I will be making a video in which I will do my very best to look into and hopefully debunk some of the infamous black-eyed children video sightings out there that may or may not be spreading some false news on the matter. If you are interested in seeing that video, leave a comment down below and link up any videos that you may want me to look into. Also leave what you think on black-eyed children as a topic overall. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, stay tuned for the next video by hitting the subscribe button down below or popping up on your screen right now, and that cute little bell right next to it to be notified of the next uploads I have for you guys. Until then, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and remember, stay spooky.